Welcome back to AutoLooks.net. I'm Everett, your host, and today we're looking at, is FCA actually doomed or can it save itself from its past? It seems that every week we hear about FCA, the Fiat Chrysler Association, either looking to partner up or merge with another car company, making claims that they're hooking up with Geely, they're hooking up with GM, they're going to partner up with Volkswagen. Are they going to actually survive, or are they going to go the way of American Motors and just plainly die out? Now, the funny thing about that is they own the American Motors nameplate. Now, this is becoming old news. We're surely getting tired of this. We actually want to see some of their vehicles survive. Yes, we all want to see Jeep survive. We all want to see the Challenger survive. We all want to see the Fiat 500 survive. But essentially, are they going to survive in the future? Considering the fact that they're a company that doesn't actually push the envelope on new technology, they always kind of wait and jump into the game after it's already started. Now let's take a look and see if AutoLooks can help out. First thing, FCA might want to streamline their lineups. This company has 9 separate brands. They have a book filled with deceased brands, the whole American Motors, the Rambler, the Nash, the Metropolitan, like amazing the amount that are actually dead that they still hold on to. Now, we get it. There are companies out there like BMW, Chevrolet, Ford, that all hold on to a lot of these older names too, and they don't want to bring them back. We get it. Plymouth is dead and ain't coming back to life. Let's just leave it at that. But can they actually properly manage global automotive sales and bring themselves out of this massive rut that they're in? Sure, they did spin off the Ferrari brand, which could help, the sales thing get corrected for Ferrari, and basically separating itself from the image of fix it again, Tony Fiat. We all know that's dead for that, yeah. Utilizing platform sharing among all the brands is a good start. For starters, I wonder why, Fiat actually killed off the Dodge Dart and the Chrysler 200. Now, the Chrysler 200 was a great looking car. It actually, held well with AutoLooks.net and our rating systems. Same with the Dart. Now, the Dart actually is still made in other places around the world. Now, it is utilized as the Fiat Viaggio in China, but really, could it have been saved from the North American market? Now, go other places in the world, you can see it as a Fiat Tipo. We get it. It does not the exact same thing as a Dodge Dart, but the platform is there. Why couldn't they save this? Why couldn't they keep this for the Dodge brand? I don't know. Why don't you ask Fiat? They could have actually saved it, because if they utilized these platforms, they could have brought it over from China and sold it in North America. That would really piss off Trump. We all get that. But hey, if Buick can do it with the Envision, why can't Fiat do it with the Dart? Now, going back to the 200, we get it, but this platform once rested on the Mitsubishi Galant and followed suit with the Dodge Stratus and the Chrysler Sebring platforms. 3 different models built with the exact same platform, which also included the Mitsubishi Eclipse. Now, okay, there's 4 platforms that ride off that one. They managed to make their money off of it. Now, Dodge, or I should say Chrysler at this point, had the 200, and they say they were losing money on those things. Well, we get it. Well, you're losing money on it because you created it for one brand. Why didn't you branch out the 200 and start selling it as a Lancia? Why didn't you make a Dodge version of it? Why didn't you push it as, the top tier, mid-sized model for a Fiat brand? Try and branch the whole freaking thing out. Sort of like how Chevrolet has done it with the Traverse, the Buick Enclave, the GMC Acadia. Cadillac has always been kind of playing with that game, but they may or may not get into it. Now, if they'd done this, like I said, they could have made Chrysler, Alfa Romeo, Lancia, Fiat, Dodge versions of this damn thing to try and save this model and get more money out of it. And I believe they dumped this thing a lot too soon before it got off the ground. Now, we get it. You got to make your money back quick when you build a vehicle like this, because if you don't make it back quick, you're basically just losing money for nothing, right? Now, like we said, we're too bad they didn't get a Dodge version of this for the North American market. Might have been able to actually help it. And you can actually see the Chrysler 200 moving into a Dodge field and becoming a nice new Dodge Adventure. Or, they could even brought back the Dodge Magnum name for this damn thing. Now, why do we say that they should have kept the Dodge Dart? Entry level. Why do people keep buying Toyotas? It's because they know when you buy your first, well, back in the day you used to be able to buy Scion. Now when you buy your first Yaris when you're in college, you like it. It's good. It's a great car. So then you move up to the Corolla right after you graduate. And then you move up from the Corolla to the Camry. When you start getting a bit bigger family, you meet your wife, you buy a house. Then you get kids. You don't move into the next vehicle. You could move into an Avalon, but you move up into like a Venza, Sienna. You keep these people in the brand. With Dodge, you enter it through the Charger. Really, you think somebody who's in college or just getting out of college, unless they got that job, that dream job that pays them over $100,000 a year, they're not buying the Dodge Charger. They're skipping the Charger. They're going for the Civic, the Corolla. Hell, they're even going for the Chevrolet Cruze and the Ford Focus. They're not going for the Charger. They're going for compacts. They're going for midsize. They're going for subcompact and compact CUVs. Now, Fiat doesn't really know this. I don't know why, but they're kind of diminishing their brands. Now, the platform sharing between their brands, Fiat can expand their lineups, making more out of less. Kind of like how Ford, Chevrolet, Toyota, Volkswagen have created full lineups from their portfolios. Let's take a look at Volkswagen. Now, them and Toyota are always neck and neck, right? Okay, well, Toyota is Toyota, Daihatsu. They used to be Scion. They now own Subaru. Now, how many is that? It's 3. I know we said Scion. We make it 4. That's 3. Throw in Lexus there, you do get your 4. Now, Volkswagen, how many brands do they got? They got Seat, they got Skoda, they got Audi, they got Volkswagen, they got Bugatti, they got Porsche, they got Lamborghini. Did I forget anything? If I did, sorry. But look at that. Seat's got stuff built off of Volkswagen platform. Same with Volkswagen. Let's say a Passat. You got a Seat version of it. You got a Skoda version of it. Hell, it even underpins an Audi version of it. No, that's 4 models riding up that same platform. Why doesn't FCA use this? I don't know. Let's take a look and see how they can expand their lineups. Now, for Fiat, you want to actually build a Fiat lineup for this thing. Make Fiat small cars, vans, and CUVs. Sure, crossover sports cars would help them out as well, but Fiat's bottom end is a pool of competing likes with Kia. Fiat, when you look at it, falls into the same lines as the Kia platform or the Skoda platform, basically, or Dacia platform. Basically, entry-level small cars for people just starting out in life. That's what a Fiat is. A Fiat isn't the Dodge Charger. It isn't, hell, even the Dodge Journey. I get it. They got the Fremont, but that's not something that should be in the Fiat line. Move the small cars. Now, keep those small cars. We're going to move into the Dodge. Now, Dodge should be in every segment, not included. A full line of 4 CUVs, along with the bottom end of sedans, can help bring in more customers than they actually really think. Dodge is the bread and butter of the company, and so requires a full model range. Think about Dodge back in the day. It used to follow suit with Toyota, Ford, and Volkswagen lineups. It used to have the full-scale cars. It started getting the SUVs. It had the vans. It had the trucks. It was everything. It was the competition. Now, moving up to the next range above Dodge, you get Lancia, the premium brand. This thing falls in lines with like Acura, Lincoln, Infiniti, well, maybe not so much Infiniti, Buick. You can actually require Lancia to create a Dodge Dart, a Chrysler 200, Dodge Charger, and possibly a couple of CUVs and a crossover. Lancia can't go full scale because it's a premium brand. It's got to compete with someone like Buick. 3 CUVs, 2 cars, a minivan, and maybe a nice sports coupe would help Lancia be a bit more. Remember, they're still sharing their platform with Chrysler, Fiat, Dodge, Alfa Romeo. Now, moving up to Chrysler, this is your full-scale, entry-level luxury brand. We get it. Chrysler really isn't considered a full-scale luxury brand anymore, but it still follows suit with people like Lincoln, people like Infiniti. It doesn't follow suit with brands like Lexus, like Mercedes, Audi, BMW. It doesn't really follow suit with Jaguar. It doesn't follow suit with them. Now, Chrysler has to stick into basically being in the same lineup as Lancia. Now, you can use the Lancia brand as the exact same pinpoint as Chrysler, because you got to remember, some places in Europe, they think Chrysler is a piece of junk car company. I don't know. You ever watch Top Gear? Listen to those guys. Those guys know what they're talking about. Chrysler is a junk brand in Europe. It has always been known as a junk brand in Europe. That's why the Lancia brand name is a lot better. Now, with Lancia, the only thing is you can actually put hatchbacks in it because people in Europe actually do see Lancias as having hatchback models. Now, Chrysler in North America, we don't like hatchbacks. A lot of luxury brands here don't have them. Now, moving into places like China and India, you can have hatchback models. So Chrysler and Lancia can kind of bridge the gap between each other, or they can just play it cool and act as each other, depending on where they're being sold. So use the Chrysler Lancia brand names to kind of sell it as Chrysler's in North America, Canada, US, Mexico, some of South America, China, and then Lancia moves into the European countries. The exact same car company, just two different names. Now you move up from Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo is basically one step up from Chrysler. It goes the next step further. It competes against BMW, Genesis, and Audi territory, luxury sports sedan territory. Now, you can utilize the same platforms from the Dodge Charger, from the Chrysler 200, from the Dodge Dart. You can use this for the Alfa Romeo, the Jetta, the Ghirla, the Maito. You can use all those platforms to build those brands and bring this guy up. I get it. You want to create this powerful rear-wheel drive brand, but unless you're creating it on something else, you're just throwing money away. If you're creating dedicated cars, we get it. That brand new Alfa Romeo is great, but you're kind of just throwing your money around. We get it. They were supposed to be built off the Chrysler platform, but it's not being built a brand thing right now, unfortunately. Now, that thing should have been, because they utilized Chrysler, Dodge, and Alfa Romeo for that platform sharing. They save lots of money. Next step up from Alfa Romeo is Maserati. This is the cream de creme. This is the Lexus. This is the Cadillac. This is the Mercedes competitor. You got to get Maserati to move up into that territory. You can actually move Maserati top tier brand things to compete against Maybach, Bentley, and Rolls-Royce as well. Maserati is a name that's synonymous with luxury. Great history of creating amazing vehicles. And maybe if Fiat kind of moves some of their brands into that, but still utilizing things from Alfa Romeo and Chrysler as well as platforms to get some of their cars off the ground. The next step up from that, Ferrari is Ferrari. Doesn't require any tinkering. Now the Ram brand, I don't know why they broke this thing out for Dodge, because remember, the Dodge brothers, if you take a look back in history, they developed the original Ford trucks. Yes, the F-150 as it is today was developed by the Dodge brothers. I'm sorry for all you Ford fans out there, but yes, the Dodge brothers created the truck division for Ford. They didn't like Ford's attitude, so they went out and they created the Dodge brand, which was trucks back then. Yes, they get into cars because they wanted to make money. Now, I don't know why Ram was split out, but Ram brand, if they're going to keep it separate, it needs to compete with compact trucks, mid-size trucks, full-size trucks, cargo vans, and need some full-scale SUVs. They need this thing to go up against GMC, Toyota truck division, and Ford truck division. Yes, we need a full-scale Ram. Well, let's just say ram it down their throats. The 1500 is great. You guys got your, you got the small van, you got the ProMaster City van, you got the ProMaster van. Okay, good, great, whatever. We need a new Dakota for the midsize to compete against the new Tacoma, the Ford Ranger. Yeah, we already have that. Fiat's got that. Share with Mitsubishi because you still have that partnership. And then you can move back into the Fiat version to get your compact truck. Platform sharing again. Fiat's got a truck. Why don't we use it for a Dodge truck? We already do it in Mexico. So why not do it everywhere else? Let's try and bring the Ram brand into a full-scale truck brand to compete against GMC, Ford trucks, and Toyota trucks. Why not? Now, last but not least, let's take a look at Jeep. Jeep is just like Ferrari. It doesn't require a lot more tinkering. We get it. They're going to be going upscale as opposed to downscale. Now, a lot of us that are true Jeep fans, we still don't consider the Renegade and the Compass as an actual Jeep. I'm sorry. You have to buy a Trackhawk version to be considered an actual Jeep model. Got to remember, all vehicles up until when FCA bought it from Jeep had to pass Camp Jeep, or they weren't classified as a Jeep. They were classified as a Dodge. Hence the Liberty, which passed by just 2 points. Now, I highly doubt the Renegade Standard Edition can actually pass Camp Jeep without getting stuck. You have to go up to the Trackhawk version. Fortunately, that doesn't make it a Jeep. That makes it a wannabe Jeep. Should be badged as a Dodge. But for this, Jeep is utilizing platform sharing. They're sharing the Renegade platform with the Fiat 500X, which they should also have a Dodge version, a Chrysler version, and a Lancia version as well. For the Renegade, the Compass. Now, we're not saying that everyone else should be sharing the same platform with Jeep, because Jeep uses more body-on frames for the Cherokee, Grand Cherokee, and Wrangler, and the upcoming Commander, Grand Wagoneer, and Wagoneer. These are full-scale SUVs. Now, the Commander or Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer, you can make a Chrysler version of it and a Dodge version of it to try and get a little bit more money off of the platform. Let's try and do that. So, we get it. We're trying to help Chrysler and Fiat out here. But unfortunately, until they can actually get the concept in their minds about sharing platforms between all of their 9 brands, we don't think they're actually going to make it. We think they're actually going to be one of those dying dodos, just like American Motors was back in the late 70s. They're just going to slowly go out like that. And until they realize that they actually have to do a little bit more platform sharing to actually compete against, the top tier companies of Volkswagen, Toyota, Hyundai is going to be on their way up. General Motors and Ford, until they get that concept of platform sharing jammed into their head, I guess merging and finding a partner to build vehicles with is their only best solution. Now here's looking at you, Fiat. Maybe if you take a look and listen to this, you might understand why your company is faltering, and you might actually get some ideas for how you might be better suited to bring this company out of its massive run. Because like me, and some of the cars behind me, like this guy right here, or that guy over there, the Dodge Charger, I want to see some of those cars keep on going. I don't want to be a person looking back and telling my grandchildren one day when they see a Jeep and go, Grandpa, we know that used to be tied to a major car corporation at one time. And I would say, yeah, it was tied to the Fiat Chrysler Association, who basically just killed them, shot themselves in the foot by not co-building every single thing possibly together. They wanted to create brand new, full line platforms for each of their 9 divisions. And they'll just look at me and say, well, why the hell did they do that? That's just stupid. It's not good business sense. We get it. You're trying to build a brand image. But let's do like Hyundai. Let's just try and get models out there to make us money so we can pump it into better vehicles down the road. Because like I always say, you want a perfect example about how you can go from crap to luxury. Look at Hyundai. When I was a kid, the Pony and the Excel were cheap, horrible vehicles that nobody wanted to own, and yet today they are selling you a nearly $100,000 Genesis G90 with shiatsu massaging seats in the back and a tablet that will actually tell you that your vehicle needs to be picked up by the dealership to go get fixed. Now, how do you go from that to that? Sure, it takes 20 to 30 years, but maybe FCA should look at it as that's what we need to do, and we should just stop pumping our money into individual crap vehicles, which is killing our image. So how many people out there have gotten tired of seeing the garbage and the recalls on their vehicles? This is Ever from AutoLooks saying, strap yourself in for this one fun ride, and keep watching our tube and AutoLooks.net. Maybe FCA will get the point.